can be straining to keeping things waiting. Anxious is rising from putting out fires when it's too much to do, and I cannot find my way through. Look at the birds, they do not worry. They
Lights low, body close, city on you. Lipstick stain on my white suit. Your perfume in the backseat, yeah. Heartbeat loud, I don't play fair. Whisper my name like a secret code. Hands on skin, let the tension explode. We don't rush, we just let it ride. Love and lust on the same damn side. After midnight, we lose control. Slow burn fire, body and soul. It ain't just touch, it's deeper than skin. Every time we fall back in. After midnight, no alibi. You say you're leaving, but you never say goodbye. It's more than a game when the lights roll up. Love in the dark,
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Shout out to everybody for being here, guys. I truly do appreciate you guys. With that being said, we are now starting our $50 redraft league, guys. Shout out to everybody for being here, man. Everybody is green. Let's go ahead and get this started, guys. 30 seconds per pick. I'm drafting here at the 1-8. Let me make sure I tag Davis, guys. We got Richie Lee at the 1-1. Beading, Spears, JJ, Coney, Cigar. Let me know, brother. Schnizzle, Juju, Bama, Davis, and then Mediocre there at the 1-12, guys. Let me text Davis to make sure he's here. We are starting. Guys, for the people that wanted to co-host, make sure you guys join the Discord, man. If you guys join the Discord, let me go ahead and fix that. For everybody watching, if you guys want to co-host, just join the Discord and join this Football Talk channel, and then I can go ahead and talk with you guys. But with that being said, man, we got Jahmyr Gibbs at the 1-1. Chase at the 1-2. Wow. Wow, I wasn't expecting Chase to go there at the 1-2. Bijan goes there at the 1-3. Let's see what JJ does. Will there be? Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be, my brother. It's going to be later tonight. It's going to be later tonight. Let me make sure I tag JJ to make sure he's here. Also, shout out to everybody for being here, man. I truly do appreciate you guys. If the music is too loud or if I'm too loud, please let me know, guys. We got JT there at the 1-6. Puka at the 1-5. I'm coming up here at the 1-8. Let's see what happens here, guys. I hate when that double sound happens. Oh, it's because it's in here as well. Let's see what Schnizzle goes with. Why is it? Okay, there you go.
Come on.
All right, guys, that's 2 autos here at JJ. Are you guys good here? Yeah, let me know if you guys are good or not. It seems like you guys are fine so far. I'll go ahead and draft Amon-Ra here at the 1-8. I think he's one of the most safest picks you can pick. Let me go ahead and text JJ to make sure we're here. Genty goes at the 1-10. James Cook goes at the 1-9. I don't mind that at all. You'll be there. Sounds good, my brother. Sounds good. All right, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Alright, guys, with that being said, James Cook goes at the 1-9, Genty, Kenneth Walker, and then CeeDee Lamb gets there at the 1-2. Yo, yes, Sagar can co-host. I told him to join Discord. He isn't joining. Yeah, guys, I told Saigar he can co-host, but you guys aren't joining, so I don't know what. I can't go to your house and give you guys the mic as well. There's Saigar. There you go. He joined. Now he's muted though. Saig, you there? You're muted. You gotta unmute. Alright, let me see who I'm going here with. Hampton is still available. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take Hampton. Oh. Can I go again? Get off auto, I got you. You gotta get off auto, guys. For lifelines, you have to get off auto, guys. What up, Sai?
You there? You're muted. You gotta unmute.
There you go. I can hear myself.
Hampton is still available. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take Hampton. Oh. Can I go? You gotta get off. You have to get off auto, guys.
Sai, I can hear myself, bro. You gotta close out the stream or something here. Looks like Juju. It looks like you need Drake, bro. You auto Drake twice. It's all good. It's all good, boys. It's all good. Hampton. I was gonna go with Hampton there. I will not lie to you guys. I'm gonna go with. I think I'll go with Derrick Henry here. It's all good. It's all good. I don't really have a problem with Derrick Henry, to be honest. Derrick Henry is very, very solid. His first few games was kind of bad, but then he turned it up really well in the later on in the drafts. Now Chase Brown is also very solid here as well, especially with Joe Burrow. So I don't mind Chase Brown at all either. But I have been trying to take more of Derrick Henry recently. All right, Sai, you there? Can you hear me, bro? Saiger. Guys, Saiger's just chilling here. He's shy to talk.
No, can you hear me now? I think I have my inputs, outputs.
There we go. There we go. You gotta turn up your mic somehow. Can you hear me?
Is that better?
Yep, that's way better, my brother. How you been?
You got 10 seconds.
You do have 10 seconds. Who are you picking here?
I mean, I see the running back run. I mean, I know how these drafts go. I gotta go double running back.
Kyren. Okay, in the second round.
I think he's got those touches still.
Did you see how Blake Corum finished the year?
I did, but I'm saying Myles Garrett on there. There's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be garbage time running plays. Kyren could bust those out. Blake Corum doesn't have that breakout ability.
Wow. Okay, I respect that. Now I went with Derrick Henry over Chase Brown. Do you like that?
I mean, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, but for fantasy, Chase Brown gets so many receptions that I think Chase Brown's the better fantasy value, but Derrick Henry could bust out like 30-point games.
Okay, I respect it. Yeah, the reason I'm taking Derrick Henry there over Chase Brown is mainly because of Joe Burrow, man. If Joe Burrow gets injured, he's very injury prone. I just feel like, it's kind of done for Chase Brown.
No, I agree. I mean, if Joe Burrow's in there to check down, it's kind of a wash for Chase Brown. Derrick Henry's going to get his touch no matter what. His problem is how much will Dele Alli and the other running backs bite into his carry?
I mean, you think they're going to widen his carry?
I don't think Derrick Henry will widen, but they drafted a running back out of Clemson in the 5th round. Dele Alli
round.
Returner.
Yeah, the 5th round. You trust the running back in the? I mean, I guess Chase Brown was also drafted in the 5th round, right?
Yeah, Chase Brown was, he was a son in college. I mean, he was borderline Heisman in Illinois.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think the competition is the same with what Derrick Henry has, but I think with Derrick Henry's age, I mean, he's a freak of nature.
I don't blame you.
If he gets his touches, he's gonna get his touches, but they seem to have a funny scheme. And like, if you look at the Chargers last year, they were very finicky with Vidal, Amari Hampton. They had like almost a 3 running back core.
Okay.
It's like, I still think Derrick Henry is a giant. He's a beast. I think he should be borderline almost like at that 1-2 turn.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you whatsoever. Now, if your friend Spears does go with back-to-back tight ends, do we usually see that working out well?
I mean, we've been talking as the jokes like, hey, if one of us gets the first overall pick, if you can get like a Jahmyr Gibbs or a Bijan and you can go double tight end, it doesn't play out that bad when you look at like what the room is going. Typically, most of these drafts go running back heavy early. It's not that bad.
He would rather have what? I can hear him as well.
He's in the background. He said he'd rather have a running back, but they all got taken at his spot.
Oh, I mean, Jeremiah Love is available. He goes there at the 3-5, guys. Jeremiah Love goes at the 3-5 after Scatterbo, Javante, Kyron, Chase Brown, Derrick Henry. This is probably the second time I've seen Jeremiah Love go at the 3-5. It's a $50 redraft league, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex league. How do you feel about Love there at the 3-5?
Oh man. I mean, he was such a monster in college. It's just I don't trust the Cardinals with the fact you pay Algier all that money to be a secondary back. Is they have a lot of running backs in that room where it could be a committee, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, that scares me too. Why do you think his ADP is so high on Sleeper?
I mean, I think the ADP's highest when you look at him in college. I mean, it was borderline. He was like averaging like an insane like 6 yards per carries. But again, they had Price in college. It was Notre Dame was one of the best rushing offenses in college. It was like a 1-2 punch. Whoever they gave it to was going to the house. I don't know if the Arizona line though is as good enough as Notre Dame to back up in the NFL.
Okay, I don't blame you for that, man. Ted McMillan, you take him at the 3-6. I want you to guess where I got Ted McMillan at yesterday's draft in our $100 league.
I mean, Ted McMillan was a monster. I mean, he's got so many targets. I don't really see Xavier Legette outplaying him. I know they paid Jalen Coger $41 million over 3 years. The offense made the playoffs. They seem to be pretty balanced, but it's like I don't really fully trust Neighbors' knee to reach him head. Olave has a concussion history, and T. Higgins a wide receiver too. But like I can see Tedero falling to the 4th.
I got him at the 4-11 in our $100 draft.
Yeah, I can say I just don't really love Etienne. I don't trust Josh Jacobs with the off-field issues.
I don't blame you. I do like Ted McMillan, especially with Bryce Young. I think Jalen Coker's contract, it wasn't even for a lot of money. You know, it was like a wide receiver 3 contract. So
yeah, I mean, it wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, it's not really anything crazy. But I would have maybe one with I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know. Ted McMillan is very surprising. He did finish as the wide receiver 16. I mean, you're getting him as wide receiver 10, I think. But I still don't mind it. How do you feel about AJ Brown getting drafted after Collins, Pickens, and Drake London? Where do you have AJ Brown right now?
I mean, before the AJ Brown trade news came in, I really did love him at this kind of like almost that turn pick where you can almost get like a George Pickens, AJ Brown. I think he's gonna as we get closer to the year, he's gonna skyrocket up with the Drake May. He's gone back to Vrabel, who he's vocally said is his favorite coach. It almost seems like it's almost too much of a bait for how good he was. He'll still be dominant, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense and Patriots.
Okay, and then you go ahead and take Travion Henderson at the 4-6, man. I don't usually see Travion going in the 4th round. Tell me what you like about Travion.
I mean, that's Snizzle there. I'm not. I mean, I like Travion.
My bad. I didn't see the Snizzle.
That seems like a reach.
I agree. I thought you took Travion there. I thought we were gonna get some new insight there. Schnizzle did take him there at the 4-6. Who are you thinking here?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I've been saying this. I'm very high on Tune all year. I think with the Etienne leaving out, I'm very high on Tune this year.
Okay. Why are you high on Tuden? Because did he really do a lot last year to put him in that? I mean, he only averaged 3.7 yards per carry. Now, he wasn't getting a ton of targets, but he got some targets. What makes you high on him? Is it just because of his situation?
I think it's a combo of the situation. I also saw watching a couple of the Jaguars games last year. He seems to be a very much of a receiving back. So in a full PPR league, he does seem that he could be that check down option where I don't really know who is the number 1 in Jacksonville. It's like you pay Jacoby Myers all that money. BTJ is like the most 50-50 flip of if you draft him late, he could be a league winner, but he could be a league loser.
Okay, I don't blame you for that, man. Dave Montgomery goes at the 4-9. Judkins at the 4-10. Devontae's turning 34 years old. Are we trusting him still?
I feel you almost have to. I mean, they were so dominant last year.
I agree with you, man. Over 10 years of excellent wide receiver work from Davante Adams. Then Spears goes and takes Judkins there at the 4-10. Are we trusting Judkins with his injury last year? Or are we kind of skipping on him this year, Sager?
I mean, before his pre-injury, he was getting like damn near 18 to 20 carries a game. I mean, I know that the injury's a little scary, but it's like when you look at it, he was so much more dominant than Dylan Sampson. They don't really have a proven receiver in that room. That it's the Browns, it's the AFC North. Everyone tries to run the ball. That he's gonna get his touches. It depends on how much does he become productive at the end of the day. If he can average like 4 yards a carry, it's a great pick there because I would take him over Montgomery.
Okay, I don't blame you for that whatsoever, man. And then Chuba Hubbard goes there at the 5-2. Josh Allen in the 5th round. Do you like that?
I mean, the more and more I analyze it, it's like Josh Allen is borderline a late round 3, early 4th. But with how much running backs go, I know especially in these drafts, running backs go early. That it's almost like you can get these quarterbacks later than what you think they're going to go to. And it's almost like the first 3 rounds, if you don't secure 2 running backs, you're really kind of almost digging yourself out of a hole.
I agree. I feel like after the 5th round, the running backs kind of fall off, and then you have to compete with running back 2s or in a committee situations like a Harvey, Jalen Warren, Ramondre, Kalmanangai, Adado, Blake Corum, J.K. Dobbins. I feel like the running back depth is not as strong as it was last year, where last year you could have gotten a Cam Scatterbo, you could have gotten a Travis Etienne late round, you could have gotten, David Montgomery late round. But now you can't really get those late round running backs, I feel like, or do you feel like that's not as true?
No, I think it's absolutely true. I think the running backs are the first 2 to 3 rounds everyone is very similar outside of the round 1s. And then after that, the receivers feel closer this year than running backs do.
Okay, I don't blame you for thinking that whatsoever. I am picking here. You went with Lamar Jackson. You a fan of Lamar?
Oh, I mean, I'm a Baltimore boy. I think Lamar, one of the best quarterbacks when he's healthy. Moving him back under center, you're going to open up the run game, the RPO. Last year we look at it, he didn't run that much, but he was still pretty much putting up like 28, 30-point games through his passing alone.
I agree. Do we think that Lamar is a quarterback 2 in this class, or do we think Drake May with A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs is now the quarterback 2? Because I seen Drake May getting drafted before Lamar. Do we think that's silly, or do we think that's reasonable?
I mean, I'm not gonna hate Drake May. The dude can spin the ball. He can throw it. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at fantasy, let's look at rushing upside. Lamar Jackson has that touchdown. He has that big play opportunity that Drake May might pick up at first, but Lamar can bust out a 30-yard run.
That is true. That is true. Man, I'm a big fan of Zay Flowers this year. I know you're a Ravens fan. He finished as a top 10 wide receiver, top 7 wide receiver last year. I still haven't seen a cornerback guard him well. It seems like he is the wide receiver 1 there, but for a wide receiver 2, is it going to be Jacoby Lane? What's going on with Rashad Bateman? Or do we think it's just going to be running through Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews now?
Oh, I mean, I love Zay Flowers. He's definitely the wide receiver 1 thing. Bateman, though, is like one of those, like, if you watch the Ravens play, Bateman's like the funny guy where if it's a broken play, he somehow always is open downfield. And I like Jacoby Lane. He's a big, like, 50-50 receiver. But Surratt out of IU is like, when you watch him play, he somehow grabs every deep ball. It's almost it's like a 50-50 chance of who will be the number 2 there.
I agree. Are you trusting Mark Andrews this year?
Oh, I trust Mark Andrews every year. I think last year was a weird fluke. I mean, people have been dogged him. He started out like the first 4 weeks, like he didn't get like any points. But then you look at his points per year, like after week 5, he was very dominant. He's Lamar Jackson's favorite target. It's almost like, I know Isaiah Likely left, and he's more of a receiver tight end than Andrews is. And I'm sad that Isaiah Likely left because I think he's going to be a sneaky demon at the Giants. But I still would trust Mark Andrews if you can get him in the later rounds.
Okay. I respect it. You're coming up here, man. You do need some wide receivers here. Are you going to go with tight end, you think, here at the 6-7?
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I think it's really Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, and Loveland are like the top 3 tight ends. Getting them any other tight end early, it almost, if you're getting a tight end before like round 10, it almost feels like you're reaching. And I don't like it for what you can potentially get as a receiver.
Okay, who are you targeting here?
I mean, people will be up and down. I'm a big fan of Alec Pierce. I've been a fan since he's been drafted, but the ankle injury scares me. I've been seeing the clips of him in training camp. They're saying he might miss all training camp. I believe in Harrison.
Okay, I don't blame you. I really do like Marvin Harrison this year at this price point at the 6'7". He really wasn't bad last year. He was just injured, in the games he did play. Yes, he had some dud weeks, but he had some decent weeks with 18 points, 22 points, 14 points, so he could be the guy there still.
I mean, he had the weird weeks where it's like, is he concussed? Is he not concussed? And it was almost like, do you play? It was almost like the 1 p.m. deadline time. Is he gonna play or is he not gonna play? And it's at the end of the day, I don't think Michael Wilson dominates him in targets at the end of the day. I know they have Trey McBride, but you don't draft a receiver and what was he? He was drafted 4th overall in the first round. You don't just give up on that all of a sudden.
I agree with you. My brother. I agree. All right. Jaylen Warren goes at the 6'10". How do you feel about Spears' team right now, man? He has 1 wide receiver with Carnell Tate. He goes with 3 running backs here, 2 tight ends. Definitely an interesting strategy here. Do you like it? Do you think it's a little bit on the, how do you feel about it?
I mean, to me personally, I know you say Gibbs is the 1-1 overall. I just think I had Gibbs last year in fantasy. It was almost like he's getting those massive games or he's getting borderline 9 points. Bijan to me is a safe 18 to 20 points a week. Trey McBride might have a downgrade, but it's not being much. Brock Bowers is healthy. I mean, I know he's big on Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is the wild card on this team. And then same with Jaylen Warren. I know they drafted Rico Dowdle. The Steelers the running back room is a little weird. It's who will really be the star?
Yeah, I agree. Who will be the start? Pollard goes here at the 7-11 or Mondre. Then Aaron Jones here at the 7-2. What do you think Spears should do here? Go with a running back again or go with a wide receiver?
I mean, I think he has to take a little risk. I mean, I'll wait till he picks because I think I know who he's going to pick. I think he's going to go Ricky Pearsall. Oh, Godwin. Okay. I mean, Godwin's a clear dominant upside. They lost Chris Evans in the offseason. Ibuka really fall off the planet of the earth the last 8 weeks. And then I know Ricky Pearsall was up and down last year, but they did also add Mike Evans. They added also Christian Kirk. So it's almost where does Ricky Pearsall fall in that offense? Godwin to me seems like the clear-cut number 1 in Tampa Bay. And
wow.
If they go pretty pass-heavy, it could be a steal here.
Wow, okay. Everybody I heard say Ibuka. All right, you're picking here at the 7-8. Who are you aiming for, and tell me why?
This is tough. It's I have 3 running backs, so I can get a little fun with the wide receiver room. Oh.
That is true.
I mean, I got to go with who I trust all year. I like Jacoby Myers. The dude was a dog last year. I know Parker Washington showed up towards the end of the year, but Jacoby Myers to me seems to be the clear-cut number 1.
Okay, I respect that, man. Jacoby Myers was that guy for a bit. I am taking here all my running backs that I did want did get taken here, unfortunately. So I am gonna go with a wide receiver here, and I know you I know you're a fan of Jacoby, but I'm actually a fan of Parker Washington this year as well. I just think Jacoby started off strong with the Jaguars, but as the year went on, I feel like Parker Washington kind of overtook him for the 1 spot. But I don't know. How do you feel about it?
No, I agree. I mean, I had Parker Washington on a couple of my low-key teams that did make the playoffs last year, but I mean, he's 24. He's proven to be, especially those last couple of weeks last year, he was really dominant. I know they traded for Jacoby. Jacoby's 29. I mean, to me, it's almost you're playing a coin toss with Myers and Washington of who will be that number 1. I don't really know if BTJ will resume that space of what he was as a rookie. And that's what scares me. But I just think the upside, when you look at receivers Mekhi Lemon is not proven in the NFL. That scares me.
Yeah, I agree. But he is a wide receiver 2 now, and we've seen what Jalen Hurts does with wide receiver 2s, like Devontae Smith. So Mekhi Lemon.
Don't trust him to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's also very true. I just think last year was an off year for the Eagles, and I'm not even an Eagles fan. I actually despise the Eagle fans because I just think they're so obnoxious. But With that being said, man, how do you feel about, the number 2 overall draft pick last year with Travis Hunter?
Uh,
Is he going to be
I mean,
getting those wide receiver reps?
as much fun as we like to make fun of the Browns of like generationally fumbling like draft picks, I know they traded Myles Garrett the offseason. They're building for the future. They're getting multiple like good draft picks in the next couple of rounds. Travis Hunter, they got a good nose sack. I don't trust Travis Hunter at all in offense. I mean, they came out and said he's going to be a cornerback dominant, and then he'll get a couple funny gadget plays on offense. I just don't. I wouldn't touch Travis Hunter this year.
Okay. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you at all. Let's see what Juju goes to here. I just feel like Drake May in the 8th round. I mean, there's other players that I would definitely pick here. I do need a running back, but I just feel like Drake May, we usually don't see him in the 8th round. We see him in the earlier rounds. How do you feel about him in the 8th round? Is that where he should be going?
I mean, I think that's a good pick. When you look at the quarterbacks that are taken, Josh Allen gets rushing touchdowns. Lamar can rush. Jaden Daniels, when we look at his rookie year, he's proven that he can be a dynamic playmaker. Outside of that, I think you got to take Drake May before Joe Burrows. I don't think Joe Burrows gets the rushing upside. And everyone seems to, in my opinion, reach on Joe Burrows because of he has T. Higgins. He has Jamar Chase. But I think Drake May is a sneaky good runner and can get that upside.
Juju said in the YouTube chat, Egbuka is going to be the clear-cut number 1 coming from a Bucks fan. He loves Godwin, though.
Saying, listen, look at the last 8 weeks of the season. Egbuka fell off.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Egbuka did disappear in the last half. But you could also say the same thing about Godwin. Didn't Godwin kind of disappear as well?
Yeah, Godwin's had some funky knee injuries. I just think overall, Egbuka scares me. I don't know if he had like some underlying injury they never discussed. It just seems like he was so dominant the first 8 weeks that he was so dominant the first almost 8 to 10 weeks, and then he just fell off a cliff, which scares me. I know their offensive line got a little shaky. The running back room doesn't help when all of a sudden you're going with Bucky Irving. They weren't getting as much yards per carry, but I can see Juju's argument where you see what you want to see. Whereas Egbuka is the number 1, probably going into this year in training camp. Egbuka will be 1, but I think if Godwin can return to that form we saw 2 years ago, it could be a scary offense in Tampa Bay, especially knowing that division doesn't have the greatest defensive cornerbacks.
Yeah, I agree. And then Spears goes ahead and takes another running back with Kenneth Gainwell there. What's he building? Can you ask him there?
I mean, I know what he's thinking because me and Mr. Sandy's what's Bucky Irving's case? I know he's been having this lingering shoulder injury now for almost 6 months. It's I know there's been the rumors that he's depressed and all this. They paid a decent amount of money to get Kenneth Gainwell, who is a very good receiving back at Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers. It's almost are they almost kind of just are we just venturing off if Bucky isn't there? Can we go with Baker Mayfield and get checkdowns? Can we get a small a run game where we just throw short passes that we saw with the Steelers last year?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree. All right, and then KC goes there at the 8-12. Johnson goes there at the 8-9. Wandale goes there at the 8-6. Give me your tight end rankings, right? After Loveland and Tyler Warren, is Tucker Kraft your tight end after that, or are you taking Sam Laporta or Harold Fannin before that?
I mean, I drafted Sam Laporta. I like Tucker Kraft. The injury scares me a little bit. Will he be ready in time? And as we saw, if we look at the rankings, Sam Laporta is getting a lot of the targets the first almost 60% of the year until he got banged up. And then we saw Jameson really pop off towards the end where he was wide receiver, I think 11 or 12 last year. Where it's I think if Sam Laporta is healthy, he dominates the middle of the field for the Lions.
Okay. I respect it. All right. Spears is picking here. What wide receivers are available that you would like here?
Oh, I mean,
He went with Xavier Worthy. How do you feel about that?
I like Worthy. He's got the speed. It's just, is Casey's offense going to be, are they going to go to the deep ball knowing that they're aging? Oh, I'll take a shot right. Or Stephon. I like Stephon. I queued him up.
My bad. You're on auto right now. I don't know if you know that or not.
No, I mean, I queued up Stephon Diggs, so I'm not mad about that also. It's fine.
Okay.
I think Xavier Worthy is good. It's just, will the Chiefs be a long ball offense, or are they going to be a kind of almost like a 5-yard down the field the whole time?
Yeah, I agree. Look at all these quarterbacks falling, man. Joe Burrow in the 9th round, Jalen Hurts in the 9th round. I mean, these are some crazy values that we're seeing here. Do you think it's justified for the quarterbacks here, or what are we thinking here?
I mean, yeah, right now, Joe Burrow in the 9th is crazy considering he always gets drafted. I feel like it's every year he gets drafted in like the 5th or 6th round, where it's almost we look at his one season where he was like quarterback 4. When he passed, he had a full season, no injuries, and we're like, he's that quarterback. And I mean, at the 9th round, it's a steal. I mean, personally, I think Drake May in the 8th is a great pick for you. He's falling in my boards 2 rounds farther than he should be.
I respect it. Because
Because
And
like
then-
Jaden Daniels is coming off of an injury the whole season. Drake May is coming off a Super Bowl. He leads the team in Super Bowl. Is really good. And that now we're seeing that quarterback run. It's almost like that panic of like, oh no, I need a quarterback now.
Yeah, no, that is very true. That's very true. And then Hurts goes in the 10th round, and then Herbert goes in the 10th round as well. Do we think Hurts in the 10th round, is he gonna come back to his old self, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm a big anti-Philadelphia. I hate the tush push. I think it's the most like degenerate fantasy points. Like when you watch Jalen Hurts throw the ball, I don't see the same throw and poise that I see in the top 8 quarterbacks in the league.
I agree.
I just don't trust. They lost the offensive lineman coach. I just genuinely think you trade AJ Brown. It almost seems like there's a weird, almost like just there's a weird vibe in the locker room of it's either you're for Jalen Hurts or you're anti Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Julian says Gainwell scares me for Bucky. I also agree with Gainwell. I feel like even when Rashad White was there, I don't mind Gainwell taking some of Bucky's carries or snaps, but I feel like Bucky's just was good by him, like just with the opportunities that he did have. And then Vam says Drake May had a Mickey Mouse schedule the entire year and then played legit horrible most of the playoffs. I don't know, he's great, but I think he's guaranteed for regression. Yeah, how do you feel about that comment, Sager?
I mean, I won't disagree. Drake May's got it very hard for first 4 weeks of the schedule. Like it's almost like the strength of schedule is like a 75% of the league. It's like if you ride with Drake May through those first 5 weeks, I think you're going to reap the benefits later on, knowing that you're going into like some absolute demon defenses. But I mean, he's upgrading his weapons with AJ Brown. He still has Hunter Henry. They upgraded the line with the first round draft, regardless of where you think that he's going to start, if he's going to be a Will Campbell replacement or not. They seem to be very much the Patriots offense and the front office seems to be very much behind Drake May.
I agree with you, man. Drake May could be due for regression. I don't like rookies personally after they done really, really well, unless it's Josh Allen or just any quarterbacks. Personally, I know Drake May is not a rookie, but I personally, after a good quarterback year, usually quarterbacks start having a digression year. Like, for example, Lamar has good years and then he gets injured. Joe Burrow has a good year, he gets injured. Jaden Daniels has a good year, he gets injured. CJ Stroud has a good rookie year, gets injured. So, I can definitely see, a regression maybe coming with Drake May. But then Spears goes ahead and takes another running back there with Woody Marks at the 10-10. I don't understand what he's doing there, man.
I mean, I just know we're very much anti Joe Mixon household here, and I
Dave
know
Montgomery.
that. I mean, hey, we're both from Michigan. We grew up in Michigan. I like Monty down there, but I feel like it's almost one of those weird, like it's a 50-50 vibe where if Monty proves himself early, he could be the workhorse the whole year. But Woody Marks also, I know he thinks Woody Marks is great, but I'm more of like Woody Marks had the whole last half of the season and didn't prove himself to me.
I also agree with you. I don't think Woody Marks proved last year that he could handle it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Montgomery goes from a top 5 offensive line where he's always been very good in college and in NFL behind a good line to a bottom 5 offensive line in Houston.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree.
I don't trust it. I wouldn't touch Woody Marks there. Is the biggest thing.
I agree with you as well. All right, who are you taking here at the 11-6?
Oh man, I almost want to. I'll risk it here. I'll take Mahomes there. Yeah, I want him to.
Okay, I don't blame you for that.
I know
Man,
he's
at the
coming off
11-6.
ACL injury. It's almost one of those. If Lamar's doing well and Mahomes shows up later, it's good trade. It's a good trade target.
I don't blame you at all for taking him there. Let me see who I could take. How do you feel about Golden's value? Vamp says Golden is quite. He likes Golden quite a bit at his current price, going there in the late 10th round.
I mean, Golden's a weird pick to me. They drafted him in the first round, but you pay Jalen Reed, you pay Watson, but it's not guaranteed money. Where you're almost like, who really is the wide receiver there? Then I don't mind Golden, especially this late. If you're rolling the dice, like you probably already have a receiver too. Golden could blow up and become a top 20 receiver this year.
Yeah, he definitely could. But he could also, be the wide receiver 3 there. I love his price because there's really no risk in the late 10th with picking him. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I feel like the downside is very minimal and the upside is insane.
I agree with that. All right. With that being said, Charbonnet Golter at the 11-9, Rashid Shaheed at the 11-10. Who are some of these late round picks that you've seen that you really like? Let's just start from, for example, round 9 plus. What are some late round wide receivers, running backs that you like going at this price?
I mean, late round receivers. I already kind of reached. I'm a big fan of Jaden Higgins. I've loved him in college. I think he's very much Nico Collins is so much injury dependent. If he gets injured, I know they have tanked out, but he's been hurt. Nico's hurt. They seem to be a pass forward offense. I like Jaden Higgins that early. But I will say, I think Rashid Shaheed is actually destined for a pretty good year. It's his second year now with Sam Darnold. They've established that connection where you're almost like, wow, this is actually, you build that chemistry that could actually boom in this year. Wide receiver wise, Deebo Samuel still isn't unsigned. Any other year, Deebo Samuel's going in like the 7th, 8th round pick.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And don't forget, you're on auto still. You might auto again. Make sure you go to your queue and click off auto. Just so you don't auto again. Okay, perfect. We are gonna start doing we are doing team reviews now. Please go on the YouTube chat to get your team reviewed. All right, brother. You ever done team reviews?
I've done a couple. I know last year I had a funny 8.6 when I had Nico Collins, and then he absolutely shit the brick in the first 5 weeks. And I thought I was cooking. I had Nico Collins in the first round 11 pick. I took BPJ in the second round of the second, and they absolutely just shit the bed last year.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. Sometimes the reviews, they don't always go according to plan.
Oh, I know. It's just one of those things. You look at you before the season. It's like all of a sudden BTJ forgets how to catch a ball, and you're like, this is horrible. I didn't draft a running back to 5.
Yeah. All right, you're picking here. Who are you thinking?
I'm gonna look at my queue. I just can't imagine that Deebo Samuel doesn't sign to a team where he has an instant impact here.
Okay, and where do you think he is gonna sign? You think he's gonna sign back with Commanders or?
I like the Commanders, but honestly, with Stephon Diggs and him still available, I like Oakland or not. My bad, Las Vegas right now. Yeah, okay. Las Vegas Raiders. I think they really don't have if you look at what they've done, they got Linderbaum. They've upgraded their offensive line. They're invested in Genty. Who knows what quarterback they're going to run with the first couple weeks? Eventually, Mendoza will take over, but they don't really have a dominant receiver. And I think getting a veteran presence in Deebo Samuel or even Stephon Diggs, you're almost looking at there's a lot of upside there. And when you look at it, potentially a 10th round pick.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. I just feel like they already have a running back there,
No, I agree. I just don't know if Oakland Raiders, outside of their, they trade Chalker that had those really weird fluke, 40-point games.
Yeah, no, I was just joking with you because Ashton Genty's there and Deebo is not a running back. But
hey, Madden, he's a 99. If you position change him, he's a 99 halfback.
Hey, I think he converted from a running back to a wide receiver. That's what people know him as. I mean, his routes aren't really anything crisp or anything clean, but he just runs through people. I think that's why people like Debo there. All right, with that being said, we're gonna start off with the team reviews. We're gonna go with Juju first. I want you to go ahead and take care of his team if you can, real quick for me, Sagar. Juju 0702.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Hampton. If Josh Jacobs avoids the legal troubles, that's a great pick. I'm a little hesitant on James Cook in the first round just because of the touchdown ratio. That scares me, but Devonta could definitely be the number one. BTJ has a lot of upside, but I get a little scared of. I just don't trust Luther Burden this year. I think Rome Odunze is just a better receiver.
Yeah, I agree. And how do you feel about Brian Thomas, Kraft, Pearsall?
I mean, if Tucker Kraft comes back from injury, we saw it last year. I mean, he was a dominant tight end for what you could get him at. I think it's great. BTJ is like, again, it's that coin flip of like, damn, like, is he going to be that what we saw? Are we going to get rookie BTJ, or are we going to get the BTJ that was the last year that was dropping passes over the middle and was almost afraid of contact?
I agree. I'm with you, man. How do you feel about his quarterback and his bench as well?
Quarterback, I mean, Joe Burrow in the ninth is, I mean, when he's fallen that far, that's a great pick. You can't complain about that. I mean, his receiver room just outside of really, I'd be scared about his receiver room the whole year.
I just feel like his whole situational team is kind of iffy right now. You know what I mean? He has Josh Jacobs, then he has Brian Thomas. What's going on with him? Luther Burden. What's going to happen with what's going on with him? You know, he's getting drafted in the 5th round. There's just too much. What's the word for it? Too much situation. Too much stuff going on with their situations in your starting lineup. Your bench
external issues that are blocking in. You got external injuries.
Yep.
You got external legal situations where it's like, don't get me wrong. If it hits, the upside is insane if he hits. But it's like there's a lot of just going on externally where it's like I personally wouldn't risk it. And
I agree.
First rounds that to me feel, especially in a lot of the drafts that you do, you got to be really strategic with your first 5 picks.
Yep. I agree. And I never heard someone be a fan of Ricky Pearsall. I don't know if I heard you right, but are you a fan of Pearsall here?
I was a fan of Pearsall last year. I traded unluckily for him in week 7 last year, thinking he would be like the number 1, and he never really took place. And then I'm like looking at their draft, like Kittle's coming back from Achilles. He might not be the best they can, but they traded for Mike Evans, and then they got Christian Kirk in the offseason. Christian Kirk is notoriously a slot demon. He loves the slot. Mike Evans is a red zone threat, which almost means like, where does Ricky Pearsall really fall in? If you have a designated slot guy and a red zone threat, it's like, what does Ricky really fall into?
I agree with you, man. I don't like his bench at all. He has Romeo Doubs as well. He's going to be the wide receiver too. He's also going to be competing. I mean, I just don't feel like, Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Booth, they're just going to let Romeo Doubs be the 2 there. I mean, there's going to be competition there, but A.J. Brown's definitely going to be the one. Zach Charbonnet is not going to see the field until mid-season. Antonio Williams has some decent upside, but he's still a rookie drafted in the 3rd, 4th round. Schultz has really no upside. So your team on this one, Juju, is really, in my opinion, not the best. I do like where you got Joe Burrow. Don't get me wrong at all. I do like your running backs with James Cook and Hampton, and your wide receiver Devontae is good, but Luther Burden, Josh Jacobs, Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall, they're all just in such a confusing scenery situation, and I don't like that for you. I would personally give this team a 5.7 out of 10. What would you give this team?
Yeah, I mean, looking at Juju, I like Omarion. I know what McDaniels has done in the past with Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane. I mean, if we're gonna look at Josh Jacobs avoids legal trouble, I don't trust James Cook to get the amount of touchdowns he did. The receiving core is a little lackluster. I mean, the Burrow's a great pick where he got it, but it's really, to me, the upside's at 6.5. I just don't see the wonder in the receiver room at all.
I agree. All right, with that being said, shout out to Juju for drafting us. We're going to go to T. Schnizzle next. I'll go ahead and take care of his team real quick. Jaden Daniels is going to be a great quarterback, but you took him at the 7th round. That's a little bit too early, in my opinion. McCaffrey and Chase Brown are going to be phenomenal running backs. Olave and Waddle are going to be great wide receivers for you, but you're tied in with Hunter Henry, man. The only reason Hunter Henry, in my opinion, did well last year was because Drake May didn't really have anybody to throw to besides Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs. With that being said, now they have AJ Brown. Now they have Romeo Dobbs. Now they have a little bit more that Drake May can rely on. So I feel like Hunter Henry is gonna digress. Not only that, he's getting older as well. He's turning 32 years old. Now your flexes with Travion and Christian Watson. I like Christian Watson, but he's never been healthy in his life. Travion Henderson's competing with Ramondre. So your flexes do worry me there for sure. You have Michael Pittman, Jaden Reed. I like those. Caleb Williams, you have Jaden Daniels. I don't think you need Caleb Williams that early. I think you could have waited for a quarterback later on. We also have Khalil Shakir. Shakir has done nothing in his career, but he could be the better 2 than he is a 1. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. I do like TJ Spears. Sadiq, I'm not the biggest fan at all either. Your tight end is extremely weak. Your flexes are weak. Your bench is iffy. You have some decent bench players. You have some off bench players, but your running backs, wide receivers, quarterback is really, really nice. Unfortunately, I'm going to give this team a 6.2 out of 10 because your flexes do worry me. Your tight end is very weak, and your bench is also on the weaker side. Now, we're going to have you do your roommates' reviews, man. Go ahead and take care of Spears' team there at the 1-3.
I mean, we were joking before the draft picked up, but there's no way Bijan falls to you the 1-3, and sure enough, someone reached for Jamar Chase the 1-2. So we were always like kind of laughing, and then we've always had this insider joke like, "Hey, this year's like if you get Gibbs or Robinson, and if you can almost on that term get McBride and Brock Bowers, it's almost like an aura thing where it's like, hey, I'm gonna dominate you at tight end. I can also potentially have a trade bait after week 5." You got Judkins at the 410, which I personally think is, if he's healthy, he's gonna surpass Scatterboo. I don't trust Scatterboo not go a whole season without getting hurt. I know he's higher on Carnell Tate than I am, but I will agree the Tennessee Titans, when you look at their coaching staff, they brought in a lot of elite NFL coaching experience. I'm just going to be Baltimore. I hate Pittsburgh players in fantasy. Jalen Warren sucks. Godwin could be interesting. Gainwell, if Bucky Irving does potentially get hurt or falls off, could be a great pick, but overall, I mean, I gotta give it a probably 6-8. The wide receiver room on paper is a little lackluster, but it could go crazy.
Yeah, I don't see eye to eye in that, unfortunately. His wide receiver room with Carnell Tate, Chris Godwin, and Xavier Worthy. Godwin last year proved that he can't really do what he's been doing. That ankle, that injury that he had is really, really bothersome for him. Not only that, if we take a look at his last few games, he did have a 23-point game, but besides that, he wasn't really amazing in outside those games. Not only that, he chose Carnell Tate as his wide receiver 1. Don't get me wrong, man. He a top 5 wide receiver drafted. I like that, but he's playing with the Titans with Cam Ward throwing to him. Wan'Dale Robinson is still there. He's a rookie wide receiver. He's unproven still.
I would have taken Scary Terry at the 5-3 before him.
I get the upside for sure. I agree with that. I get the upside for sure, but I would have rather had for my wide receiver 1 at least, someone safe that I could rely on. That could be another Quentin Johnson situation of his rookie year. That could be who did they draft before they drafted Justin Jefferson? I forgot his name, but there's so many players that might need a year or two to pop off. Carnell Tate, he's not in the best situation. Cam Ward, I'm a Miami fan. He's not. I don't know. I'm not personally the biggest fan of that. And then you took Xavier Worthy there as your 3rd wide receiver. Worthy hasn't really done anything in his career to make him be startable besides how fast he is. It's another John Ross 2.0. They haven't really done anything. So let's just say Godwin doesn't work out. Ibuka's the one, right? And I actually like Ted Hurst this year as well. I think Ted Hurst is going to be getting a lot of catches as well. Jalen McMillan is still there. I feel like Godwin is going to be just a veteran presence there. But with that being said, I just don't understand the running backs you took at all either. You took like 5 different running backs. I get Bijan, I get Judkins, but after that, Jalen Warren was not needed at all. Kenneth Gainwell was not needed after you took Jalen Warren. I think I'm gonna have to give this team probably a 4.1 out of 10. This is probably one of the lowest rated teams that I have rated this year. I just don't see the vision with the wide receivers. I don't see the vision with the running backs. I get the tight end with Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. That does get you, a little bit on the, rating scale. It does boost it, but it doesn't make sense to me, especially with your wide receivers, because fantasy, you need stud wide receivers to hit for you. And I just don't know if Connell Tate and Chris Godwin and Xavier Worthy are going to be those wide receivers.
No,
But-
I totally agree.
But
I
yeah,
trust almost the running backs up until Jalen. After Jalen Warren, it's like Kenneth Gainwell. It's almost you're playing a 50-50 dial. It does Kenneth Gainwell overtake Bucky? Does Woody Marks overtake Montgomery? It's almost like you're almost hedging almost if they get hurt. And there's upside. I will say, Trevor Lawrence in the 11th round. When we look at his last year, he was cooking. He's getting 20 points a game. I think that's great. But I agree. I think he's very much hedging on very much if Cardinal Tate can come out and prove that he's very much a NFL star, like a first round draft pick, and if Chris Godwin come back from injury, it could be a very decent team. Xavier Worthy scares me. I agree with you. He's very much John Ross 2.0, where we all get enamored by this 40 time, but every time he's been to KC, he hasn't had that breakout game.
yeah. Do you hear what you said though? You said if and if and if and
Oh
if.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like
So there's
it's very much min max draft.
correct. So in the NFL, there's a lot of ifs. 100% of the time they don't, not all the ifs are gonna work out. In a perfect world, man, Cardinal Tate's gonna be Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, his rookie year. Chris,
Ohio State receivers.
yeah, Chris Godwin could be, the wide receiver 1, like we saw him 2 years ago before he got hurt. Xavier Worthy could be the wide receiver 1, overtake Rashee Rice, even maybe have an explosive year. In a perfect world, these wide receivers are amazing, but in a perfect world, everything is amazing. If we're realistically speaking, unfortunately, I don't fully love it. Godwin's also getting older, man. Godwin's turning 31 years old. He's not a Devontae Adams. Yeah, he's not a Devontae Adams, unfortunately, but still a solid team. Not solid enough for me, unfortunately. But with that being said, we are going to go to B-Dean's team here at the 1-2. I'll go ahead and take care of his team, and I'll let you rate it, actually. Jared Goff is going to be a decent quarterback. I'm not the biggest fan of you drafting him there. I think instead of Travis Kelce, I know you got Kittle and Kelce. I don't think you should have took both of them. I think instead of Likely, you should have took at Baker Mayfield. You don't need 3 tight ends at all whatsoever. Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, those running backs do scare me. Jamar and George Pickens are going to be great wide receivers. Kittle/Kelce are going to be decent tight ends for you. I don't mind them whatsoever. Malik Neighbors and Garrett Wilson. Neighbors might not even play until week 6. That scares me. Garrett Wilson is going to be a good flex for you, but let's just say Malik Neighbors to start. You're going to have to rely on Aaron Jones. You're going to have to rely on Matthew Golden and Jonathan Brooks, and I don't know if I can rely on any of them week 1 starting off. So what would you give this team as a rating, Sager, before I give it a rating?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Jamar Chase, George Pickens going around that kind of like 3-1 to 3-3 pick. I think George Pickens is going to have another really good year in Dallas. I'm very scared of Malik Neighbors. Then the knee injury, we saw him in the the Instagram clips of him playing softball. He doesn't want to put weight on it. Garrett Wilson, let's be honest, Geno Smith is not that guy. He's horrible. Hubbard got replaced halfway through the year last year with Rico Dowdle. I mean, to me, you have some very solid receivers, but the running back room scares me. I mean, Aaron Jones, they paid a bunch of money to their backup. Rico Dowdle is playing a game with Jalen Warren. I like Kittle if he comes back from injury, but why would you go Kittle and Kelce? To me, it's like it's a 5-9. I'm not ecstatic enough on the receivers to cover up the downside of the running backs.
What I will say is those wide receivers, if picked correctly, for example, if you went with, instead of Malik Neighbors, you went with somebody else there instead of, I do like the Garrett Wilson pick there at the 4-11, but I feel like, in my opinion, you could have just done a little bit differently. You know, Aaron Jones at the 7-2. I don't think I've seen him getting drafted that high ever. I don't think I've seen Aaron Jones go in the 7th round. I think you should have took a J.K. Dobbins there. I usually see Aaron Jones go in the late 8th, 9th rounds. So I personally don't like that for you. But I agree with his rating, 5.9 out of 10 beating. But those wide receivers could really win you the championship if they're all healthy for you. But again, a lot of ifs there. But with that being said, man, shout out to everybody for being here. I do appreciate you. Saiger, I appreciate you for being in here, man. Thank you for co-hosting with us. I hope you enjoyed it.
No, it's fun. I mean, it's always fun just talking fantasy. I mean, when you look at like past of your drafts, it's like almost like every draft is unique in its way. It almost feels like first 2 rounds are like quarterback heavy, but it's like I was talking in my room and it's like I really don't get a read of where people are drafting after round 4. Like we're seeing Carnell Tate go as early as 5-3, but he also falls to the 7th round. So it's almost like it's a very fieldsy draft this year. Outside of like running backs, are almost like you need to hammer them early and lock them in.
Yeah, there's gonna be. That's why I say now was drafting is the best because there's the values are all over the place. Like Jordan Tyson got drafted at the 5-12. I seen Tyson available in the end of the 7th round. You know, in a couple drafts. So all the values are kind of shifting right now, kind of changing because right now that's when you get the best values. Then August comes. I feel like, in my opinion, once August comes, that's kind of the drafts get a little bit repetitive, not too much, but we see people going at the same spots, you know, all the time.
Last year, I mean, people were like predicting like Ibuka was going at like round
Yeah.
9, 8, and all of a sudden he jumps up to like borderline 5th round, 4th round a month before the draft. Everyone's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And it's like almost like, where does Carnell Tate fall there? It's like, does he like follow that same path? Like I understand the rookie hype, but it's almost like there's an insane premium on some of these rookies.
I agree. I think as the years go on, we're going to see Carnell Tate climbing to the 4th round, maybe 3rd round. We're going to see Jordan Tyson and Mekhi Lemon climbing up as well. You know, not Jake. You can't. I don't know what your team is. Oh, I think he's mediocre. I think that's mediocre. All right, let me go ahead and take care of mediocre's team, and then I think that's the last team to take care of. Brian said, I completely disagree on Juju's team. I think he drafted a bunch of talented wide receivers with upside. I just don't know if Burden, Brian Thomas, and Ricky Pearsall have that upside.
Luke took Burden in the 5th. That's all I'm saying.
All right, with that being said, mediocre quarterback is phenomenal. Getting Jalen Hurts at the 10th round. Devon Achane and Bucky Irving are going to be great running backs for you. Lamb and Flowers are going to be amazing wide receivers. Harold Fane is going to be a good tight end. Then you got Jordan Tyson and Jadarian Press who have a lot of upside in your flex room. I actually don't mind that whatsoever. You do have Michael Wilson, Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Juwan Johnson, Tyler Shough, and Isaiah Pacheco as your bench. What would you rate this team 1 out of 10, Saiger?
I mean, again, if CeeDee Lamb comes back to like his top tier, I mean, people are drafting CeeDee Lamb at like the third and 4th pick. I'm a little scared of Achane. I think they lost a lot of weapons. I'm scared. I don't trust Bucky in the 3rd. I love Zay Flowers again. Tyson, Chris Olave. I almost feel like it's a 1A 1B situation. I love it. Price is a steal, knowing that Charbonnet is not going to be back for the near season. Wilson's going to get a lot of touches. Harold Fanning's going to get a lot of touches. And after that, it's almost like you're just filling holes. I give it a 7.2. I like the consistency you'll get week over week.
I agree. I think the best thing he did in this draft is take those rookies as his flexes because those rookies do have a lot of upside. Not only did he take those rookies for upside, he also has some safe floors with Lamb and Zay Flowers as well as Devon Achane. You know, he took some upside, he took some safety. I think this is how a draft should somewhat go. And then in his bench, he took Michael Wilson. Now, I don't think Michael Wilson has a lot of value, to be honest, with Marvin Harrison, but I don't mind it. Coleman has upside. Johnson has upside. I think Juwan Johnson was kind of a waste of a pick there in the 12th round. You could have won with a Chris Rodriguez easily, a TJ Spears, and Antonio Williams. You have Harold Fana. You're never going to play Juwan Johnson. You also don't need Tyler Shough there in the 13th round. I feel like you could have won with somebody else, like a Marshawn Lloyd instead. Personally, that's what I would have done. But solid team. You gave it a 7.2. I'll give it a 7.4. I still like this. But with that being said, guys, that's all the teams. Saiger, you're more than welcome to always do this with us, man. I appreciate you, and I hope maybe if I don't see you in the next draft, I'll see you in another draft, brother.
Oh, well, we'll definitely get some $100 drafts. Don't worry.
Perfect. All right, brother. Take care.
Yeah, take care, bro.
Yep. All right, guys. Shout out to Richie, B. Dean, Spears, JJ, Cooney, Seiger, T. Snizzle, Juju, Bama, and Davis, as well as Mediocre for drafting with us. Big shout out to Seiger for co-hosting with us. Guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys, and I hope you